Sometimes stress, anxiety, and fear become so familiar that we think it's who we are, but it's not. This 35-minute water element Hatha yoga will help you release deep-seated fear by restoring your nervous system, strengthening your vital energy, and reconnecting you with your real, authentic self. If you struggle with stress or anxiety, or if old unprocessed trauma keeps you stuck in patterns of people pleasing or feeling timid or unable to show up how you really want to show up in your life, you're not alone. I've seen how powerful water element focus is for cultivating courage and confidence for the past decade, which is why I'm here sharing this yoga practice that's made for you. By working with the water element, you'll strengthen your kidneys and your adrenals to balance your hormonal system, will restore your nervous system, and this yoga will help ease that underlying fear that shapes how you show up in your life. Because fear doesn't have to be your baseline. And by reconnecting you with the vitality and courage that are already within you, you can feel more calm, more confident, and more authentic. Anatomically, we'll work with your kidneys, the inner thighs, and the entire back line of your body. So the bottoms of the feet, the calves, the hamstrings, through the back, the neck, and through the scalp into the forehead. And all of this can strengthen and open and release any stress, fear, anxiety, trauma that's stored in your body. So this practice isn't just about moving your body. It's about helping you shift old emotional patterns that are stored in your body so you can experience more ease, more flow, and more vital energy. And if this resonates with you, you'll love exploring water element practices. I'll link a playlist for water element practices below, along with a resource where you can learn more about how the water element impacts your physical, emotional, and mental health. And if you appreciate the work that I'm sharing here, it means so much when you subscribe, because then more people can discover these practices. Thanks for being here with me. Let's get into the practice. We'll begin at the top of the mat, standing with the feet hip-width apart. Just make sure that your big toes are slightly in. The outside of your feet are lined up with the outside of your mat. And pick up your shoulders, let them roll down the back, and reach down through your arms, down through your hands, out through your fingers, letting your palms face forward. And then begin to press down through the outsides of the feet. Let this create a lift through the arches of the feet, a lift through the legs, up through the core of the body, all the way up through the spine, and up and out through the crown of the head. First, just feeling this anchoring and grounding into the earth element. And let your breath begin to settle into your belly. Letting the breath smooth out and naturally slow down. On your next inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips, softening through the knees as you bring the hands down to the floor. Bending your knees as much as you need so your hands reach the floor, and then let your head be heavy so the neck relaxes. And feeling this gentle opening through the entire back line of your body. Now on an inhale, take a deeper bend through your knees. And exhale, press down through the feet as you lengthen through the legs as much as is comfortable. Inhale, bend through the knees.
Exhale, lengthen through the legs. 2 more times. Inhaling, bending through the knees as far as you want to go. Exhale, lengthening through the legs. Inhale, fold through the legs. Exhale, lengthen through the legs. Perhaps you feel a little more length through the back line already. Now on an inhale, lift up through the chest, lengthen through the spine into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Once again, inhale, lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the legs. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees as you need. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, let the chest open. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. One last time. Inhale, really activating through the back line. Exhale, fold forward. Now bend through your knees once again. Plant your hands onto the mat. Step your feet back, coming into plank. We'll slowly move through Chaturanga. You can bring your knees down to the mat if you choose. Let your weight move forward and fold your elbows so they move straight back, keeping the body long and supported as you come onto your stomach. Release the toes and slide your arms out so you come into Sphinx. The elbows underneath your shoulders, the wrists lined up with your elbows. And let your chin drop toward your chest. Let the lower ribs relax down toward the floor. Compressing the kidneys at the base of the ribs so they're moving in toward each other, just subtly. Charging up the kidneys. And now you can slowly take your left ear toward the left shoulder, opening up through the right side of the neck, even into the ear, around the ear. Let the chin roll back to the center, rolling the other direction, bringing the right ear toward the right shoulder, and breathing into the left side of the neck, in around the space around the ear. And release, bringing the chin back to the center. One more time, taking the left ear toward the left shoulder. Releasing the chin back to the center. And it feels good to inhale as you take the ear toward the shoulder. And exhale as you bring the chin back to the center. Now press into your hands to bring the elbows up off of the mat. Take them out to the side. So you come down to the stomach. And take your hands out in front of you, the fingertips to the ground. On your next inhale, roll through the upper back, coming into Cobra. On an exhale, roll down through the spine, releasing back to the floor. Inhale, roll up into Cobra. Exhale, roll, releasing down. 2 more times. As you inhale into Cobra, let the back line engage. Exhale, release. Last time. Exhale, release. Now bring your arms back and reach back through your arms so much that your chest lifts up. You can have the palms facing each other and even imagine you're squeezing a block, working on squeezing a block between your hands. And now lengthen through the legs so they come up off of the mat, coming into Shalabhasana. Feeling the strong engagement through the back line. Strengthening the kidneys. On your next inhale, take your legs out wide. Exhale, bring the legs in. Now continue doing this with your legs, inhaling as you take your legs out, exhaling as you take your legs in. As you take your arms out, alongside the ears. And then reverse the arms, taking them back, out wide, alongside the body, reaching back through the arms as we're engaging through the kidney channel, through the inner thighs, moving the legs in this way. And lift up into Shalabhasana one last time. Exhale, release. Bring your hands down onto the mat and release your forehead down onto your fingers. Just taking a couple breaths in prone Shavasana. If you feel any tension through your lower back, you can move the hips side to side. Now bring your hands to both sides of your chest. Draw the elbows in toward the waist. Draw the tailbone down toward the pubic bone. On your next exhale, you'll press up onto your hands and knees, keeping the core engaged. Tuck your toes and come back into downward dog. Taking any movement that feels good here, just focusing on the back of the body, opening up through the bottoms of the feet, up through the calves, the hamstrings, a lift through the kidney channel, through the inner thighs, and a lengthening through the spine. And length through the neck, ease through the forehead, the eyebrows. Now you can lift up onto your toes. And on inhale, bring your right knee in toward your nose, lifting the thigh up toward the torso. Step your right foot between your hands. Bend through the front leg, bring the back knee down. You can release the back toes. Take your right hand onto your knee, and on your next inhale, take your left arm up. And just feel into this lifting up through the left arm, and feel an opening through the front of your left hip. Opening up through the psoas. And supporting that opening by engaging through the back. Release your left hand down to the mat. Fold in through your back leg. And this becomes easier if you let your hips relax down toward the ground, lengthening through the front of your left leg to bring that foot in. And then take a hold of your foot with your right hand. If this isn't available to you, you can just work on bringing the foot closer to your hip, even up off of the mat, or just releasing here and feeling deeper into the front of your left hip. If you have a hold of the foot, you can pull the foot in so the heel is moving toward the sit bone to get deeper into the psoas. And then push your foot back into your hand and release. Just doing that a few times, activating the muscles and releasing. Now let go of the foot and bring your right hand down. Just lengthen through your right leg. I keep the foot where it is and then walk the hands back to support you and fold over your right leg in an Ardha Hanumanasana. If this is too intense for your hamstrings, you can keep a micro bend in your knee, in your right knee. And you can also move the hips a little bit side to side. So you can feel for yourself into the center. and where you really get deep into the bladder channel, running straight through the back of your right leg. Staying active through the spine, the chest open, so the shoulders are into the back, the upper back is active. Long through the neck. And now bend through your front knee, bringing the foot flat to the mat. Take your hands to the mat to support you. Tuck your back toes and bring your back knee up off of the mat. So you're in a low lunge. Now you're just going to press down into your right foot to lengthen through your right leg, keeping the foot down onto the mat. And fold over your leg as much as you want, as much as feels right for you in this moment. And this is also a place to feel into the possibilities in your hips. Just using micro movements to feel into how that changes any opening through your leg, down into your ankle, into your foot, maybe up through your spine. And now you can press down into the heel and flex through that ankle. Feeling perhaps a little more intense activation through the back line, and particularly through the hamstrings. And now lengthen through the ankle, bringing the foot flat onto the mat. Fold through the knee so you're stacking the knee over the ankle. Find your balance and bring your arms up into a high lunge. And just like we did in the crescent lunge, lift up through the left side in particular. Draw the inner thighs in toward the center line, where you can feel an opening through the front of your left hip here. Now we'll transition into a standing split. Bring your hands down to the mat, take your weight forward, and take your left leg up as far as it wants to go. You can use your hands to support you. Just feeling the charge through your standing leg. If you want to test your balance, you can take a hold of your ankle with your right hand. You can take a hold of it with your left hand as well. Let your nose drop toward your knee. Now bend through your standing leg. Bring your left foot down to meet the right. Have the feet hip width apart. And just bend through one leg at a time. Then hang over here. Shake the head out, yes and no. Now bend through the knees to get the hands flat onto the mat. Step back into plank. And let's come into upward dog. Coming onto the tops of the feet, the hips are up off of the mat. And now here, just move the hips side to side so you're feeling into the front of your hips as you do that. Or that's where I feel it more. Take the hips up and back, tuck the toes, coming into downward dog. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Bring your left knee in toward your nose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Step your left foot between your feet. Bring the back knee down as you bend through your front knee. Release the toes. Take your left hand onto the left thigh or onto your knee. And on your next inhale, take your right arm up. So feeling this lift up through the right side of the body, in particular, to feel an opening and lengthening through the front of your right hip. Now release your right hand down and let your hips descend as much as they will, and begin to lengthen through the front of your left leg to fold at the knee, working this heel in toward the sit bone. Take a hold of the foot if you can with your left hand. And if you have a hold of the foot, use your hand to draw the heel in toward the sit bone even further. Once again, if you can't get a hold of your foot, then just work on feeling into the musculature of how do you bring your foot up, even if it's just coming up here. And maybe if you don't have the opening in your hips for that, then you're just feeling into this. Letting your hips release into gravity here. With a hold of the foot, press your foot back into your hand. Feel that activate the muscles, and then release. It creates more of an opening. Do that a couple times, pressing the foot into the hand and releasing. And as you release, perhaps you feel the foot come closer in toward the hip. Now let go of the foot if you have it. Lengthen through your front leg. I keep the heel where it is. Use your hands to support you. Ideally, we want the right hip stacked over the knee. Now, if this is too intense for your hamstrings, once again, bend through your left knee. Even if it's just a micro bend to take some of the tension out of the hamstrings. You'll still be working on opening through the back line, through the back of your left thigh, and through the entire back side of your left side. And feeling into micro movements, perhaps moving the hips side to side. Now fold through the knee to bring the foot flat to the floor. Tuck your back toes and bring the back knee up off of the mat. Press down into your front foot so you lengthen through your front leg. And just like in Ardha Hanumanasana that we just did, if this is too intense, keep a bend through your front knee. So adapting what we're doing to suit you now in this moment. And now press down into the heel to flex through the ankle. Draw the inner thighs in toward each other. Notice if you can be long through the spine, open through the chest, active through the upper back, long through the neck. Bend through your front knee to bring that foot flat to the floor. Find your balance. On your next inhale, come into a high lunge. Lift up through the body and feel an opening through the front of your right hip in particular. We'll come into a standing split, taking the hands out in front of you, taking the weight onto your left leg, taking the right leg straight up. I would say ideally we're keeping the hips square. I find that to be much harder to get my leg up high than letting my hips open up and reaching my top leg up. But it creates a deeper opening through the back line, especially through the back of the left leg. Maybe it doesn't look as nice. Now bend through your standing leg. Bring your right foot down, let your feet be about hip width apart, and then just bend one leg at a time. Shake the head out, yes and no. And now walk your feet out. So the outside of the feet are lined up with the outside of the mat a little wider than shoulder width. Just moving the hips side to side. And now you can take your hands, wrap them around your ankles. Wrap your index and middle fingers around your big toes and press your thumbs into your toenail. If you have the length in your hamstrings, you can take the hands underneath your feet, getting your toes all the way, press up against your wrists. Whichever option works for you right now. On your next inhale, lengthen through the spine, press your hands and feet against each other, the toes into your fingers, pulling the ankles and hands against each other, and feel this activation through the back line. Really strong activation. The upper back engaged, so the shoulders are into the back, long through the neck. On your next exhale, fold forward, letting the elbows move out. And keep pressing the hands and feet against each other, or whatever your bind is, that you're using that to keep this as an active opening and lengthening. Now release the bind, bend through your knees. We'll come into Malasana, getting your knees up against your triceps as high as you can. And your feet, however you can be supported and balanced here. And now you can reach the arms out, press your knees against the outside of your arms, and you can let your chin release in toward your chest. Breathe into your back. On your next inhale, press your arms into your knees, bring the thumbs in toward the sternum, in toward the chest. Lift up through the pelvic floor so you're engaged through the pelvic floor to lengthen through the spine. And let's move dynamically, exhaling. As you press the arms into the legs, take the arms out long, open up through the back, and inhale. Press the arms in, bring the hands in toward the chest, lengthen through the spine. 3 more times, exhaling, opening up the back. Inhale, activating through the back. 2 more times. And now relax through the spine. Take your hands behind you and bring your hips down. Bring your feet together and then take your hands further back. Bring your hips all the way back. Bring the left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Square out your hips as much as you can. So your lower back is facing the back of your mat directly rather than open to the side. It just changes the opening so we get deeper into the bladder channel through the back of your right leg. Let's take the arms up. Press your right leg down into the mat. Flex through the ankle so you're strong through the back line. And now fold at the hips, hinge at the hips. The belly button is moving in toward your right thigh. You keep pressing down through the back of the right leg into the mat. This is pretty strong. The shoulders into the back, the neck long. And now release the arms down. If you can take your right hand around your left wrist, and then take the wrist and hand around the ball of the foot. Press the ball of the foot back into the wrist and hand. And so you're pressing evenly through the ball of the foot as you continue to press down through the back of your right leg. If you don't have this kind of length through your hamstrings, you can just have your arms down, your hands down. Maybe this is your version of this posture. Wherever you're at. Now reach out through your arms. Now inhale, come up. Exhale, release the arms down. Take your legs out. You can shimmy the hips a little bit. Bring the right foot to the inside of your left thigh. And having your hips as square as you can, so you optimize the opening through your hamstrings to the left thigh. Bring your arms up, press down through the back of your left leg, flex through that ankle, and begin to hinge at the hip. Again, bringing the belly button in toward the left thigh as you press the leg down into the mat. A very strong lengthening through the back line, through the left side. And now if you can take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and then press the ball of the foot into your hand and wrist. And again, if that isn't available, you're in the posture where you're actually just more on working and finding this hinge. So you're creating this length here. If you have the hands around the foot, the shoulders are into the back, the chest can still be open. And now reach out through the arms. And inhale, come up to sit. Exhale, release. Take your legs out. Shimmy the hips a bit. Let's take a little Paschimottanasana. With both legs out. Same thing, arms up, alongside the ears, pressing down through both legs, hinging at the hips. Now if you find yourself rounding at the back, already to reach forward, this isn't what we're going for. Even if you're right here, and you already feel an opening, amazing. You're feeling into that, you're breathing into that opening. If you have a little bit more length in your hamstrings, feeling into the nuances as you explore the depth in them. And then you can release the arms down and let your chin release toward your chest. No matter your expression of this posture right now. And you can take some figure eight with your head through the neck, down through the spine. And now let's lengthen through the arms, active through the legs. And inhale, come up. Exhale, release the arms down. Take your hands flat to the mat and just press into your heels and hands. Bend through the knees to bring your hips as far forward as you can. And then come to sit, reaching out through the arms. And slowly roll down through the spine. Take your legs out long. So you're positioned on your mat and fold in through your right leg. Interlace your fingers, take your hands around your knee and just draw the knee in toward the chest. Now you can interlace your fingers and wrap your hands around the back of your thigh and begin to activate through the leg to lengthen through the leg and then release. Now bend through your knee and release, taking the right leg long onto the mat. Fold in through the left knee. Interlace the fingers, wrap them around your knee to draw the thigh in toward the torso. Now take your hands to the back of the thigh and continuing to draw the thigh in toward the torso. So you're feeling into that hinge of the hip that creates more length through the back. Begin to activate through the leg as much as you can to lengthen through not only the back of the leg, but through the back of the hip. And as we do this, you're feeling the role of the quadriceps and how they team up with the hamstrings. So as you engage through the quadriceps, you're helping the hamstrings to lengthen. And then fold through the knee. And take the left leg out long. Windshield wipe the feet in and out. And letting this create a release all the way up through the legs into the pelvis. Let your feet be out to the width of the mat and let your feet drop out to the side. You can press into the back of your head to pick your shoulders up and get your shoulders into your back. Then let your arms lengthen out, the palms facing up. And with your eyes closed, rest into Shavasana. The water element is about deepening into restoration, releasing into the trust of gravity taking your weight. Taking any anxiety. And feeling Shavasana as your friend, as you deepen into restoration.
And if this practice felt healing for you, always return to it when you feel it for repetitive use and increased benefits. And again, check out any of the water element practices in the playlist here. Each one is a step into deeper confidence and clarity, ease and flow. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more support in your journey back to your truest self.